Welcome to Hameen Royale. This is Eric Grissom.
And I'm Dan Johnson. Eric and I will be rewatching the iconic Twin Peaks from the pilot through the return and everything in between.
If this is your first time watching, or if you're a longtime fan, you can watch along with us as we dive deep into the strange and wonderful world of Twin Peaks.
We live inside a dream.
Today on Meanwhile, we are variationsing our revelations. Oh my God, can you believe it? Make a change. This is episode number 26, season 2, episode 19 of the TV show Twin Peaks. Dan,
Eric,
how are you, Dan?
I'm doing great, Eric. How are you? Eric, I'm great because we are absolutely on the upswing. Like you said, you predicted it.
I did.
Dividing the second season into 3 parts. This third part, baby. Woo!
Part 3 going out like a rocket, like a what did James say? We're rocketing into the. He didn't say rocketing into the night.
I don't think he said that at all.
He said
in your fan fiction, he said rocketing into the night.
I can't even remember what he said. It's something about rocketing into the whatever. I'll put the thing in here.
Sometimes riding at night, I punch off the headlights and roll on the throttle and just rocket blind into the dark.
Before we begin, an apology to listeners that may have tried to contact me on my website, ericgrissom.com, which is where I host the Meanwhile page, because I had a contact us form, and I checked it the other day. All of the things are in the junk.
Oh.
All these things in the junk. So I got a very nice letter from someone about the show, and she was very... told me a lot of stuff and about episode 14, and I was like, oh my God, how, people think I'm rude. I just want you to know, if you've written me, I found some in the junk folder. I've written you back, a couple of people. If you've written me over there and I didn't get back, I get back to everybody. It means I did not get the message, or it's buried deep within the junk. Yeah, every one of my forum posts or whatever, form submissions was going to the junk. So I feel bad that it looked like I was ghosting people. I'm not someone to ghost people. I pretty much get in touch with everybody. That's the Eric promise.
I knew that's what it was.
All right, I don't have anything else. I'm eager to talk about variations and relations. Not to be confused with revelations, which I've already done.
Tell me about Twin Peaks ratings now, because I'm sure it's number 1, right? It's number 1 again after last week's episode?
What do ratings mean, Dan?
Yeah, what do they mean?
They don't mean nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, so it's once again, it airs on April 11th, 1991. Mm-hmm. Thursday nights, as you remember, 9 p.m.
It's a great time
up against
slot.
The Antagonists, which... Yeah, yes, maybe more people watch The Antagonist, but how many Antagonist podcasts exist right now? Although maybe that's where I should have went if I really wanted to corner a market on a niche.
Oh, wow.
Imagine it's like we're watching The Antagonists. We're watching all 2 seasons. I don't even know if there's 2
There'd be
seasons
like you and me and one other person, but that person would be so devoted. Oh, it'd be great. You gotta. It's the impact, not the breadth of the allure. But Eric, we're not here to talk about the Antagonists until our next podcast.
Fox has Beverly Hills 90210. NBC has Cheers. Now, I forgot to mention last week, after Cheers used to be Wings, and they added a new show called Seinfeld. I watched Seinfeld religiously as a child, and I watched Twin Peaks, but I never realized they overlapped when they did. But there you go. So it's now, I think, season 2 of Seinfeld. So Seinfeld, I think, started on a Wednesday or some other night of the week. This is when I think it found its footing by season 2, and now it gets pushed to Thursday nights after Cheers to really build it up. but it's on at the same time as Twin Peaks.
That's the show that was like 2 seasons and no one ever heard of it again.
Yeah, well, but for the first season, it was a show that they had to support.
It's a slow show to build, but yeah, I get it.
Right, it didn't find its audience right away, and we all know about the connections between Twin Peaks and Seinfeld.
Dad passed away 10 years later to the day. His last words to me were, "Cherish the cabin." Not take care of your sister. She's a paraplegic. But cherish the cabin.
You've got Grace on Seinfeld.
That's true.
You've got Warren Frost on
That's
Seinfeld.
true.
And speaking of Frost, guess who's behind the typewriter again this week, Dan?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Wait, hang on. Let me see if I can get it with that clue.
Well, it could go one of two. Could go one of two ways. I'll put you out of your misery.
Okay,
it's
thank you.
Mark Frost.
Oh, Mark Frost. Okay,
Mark
All right.
Frost and Harley Peyton are both credited as the writers, and it's directed by Jonathan Sanger is our director. He was a producer. He produced the 1980 film, David Lynch film, The Elephant Man.
Oh.
But he also produced Flight of the Navigator. Now, do you remember Flight of the Navigator?
Hold it. Now this is music. I'm getting bug driving up and down the same.
I do remember that fondly, and for some reason,
That's a movie no one seems to talk about, but was always on. It seemed like it was always on HBO.
it was. I loved that movie as a kid. For some reason, it popped up like a 20 facts you didn't know about blah 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 for Flight of the Navigator showed up on my YouTube, and I had to watch that because I hadn't thought about that movie in probably 30 years. Great movie.
Who is in Flight of the Navigator? Now
Well, the kid apparently was one of those child actor things where this was his only big role, then got into a lot of personal problems, but made a big comeback and has since kind of gotten back on the scene. I forget his name, but yeah. Oh, Sarah Jessica Parker's in it. She plays the intern at NASA who's the friendly girl who kind of helps him kind of get reoriented. One of her early roles. Apparently, she said she doesn't even remember making the movie, which is great.
wasn't there a sphere or something?
Sphere, that was the ship, and it was an alien ship inside, and it was all like this like cold metallic mean kind of thing until it scanned his brain, and then it got a personality, and that personality was played by an uncredited or pseudonym credited Paul Rubens.
Oh, Paul Rubens was in there.
Which you would know it is absolutely, he's doing a Pee-wee Hermit because it does the ha voice, but definitely was not did not want his name to be credited there. But yeah, that's Paul Rubens in that. Yeah. During Pee-wee's Playhouse, like that era.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Explorers, with Ethan Hawke and
Different. Yes.
River Phoenix, right? And who was the third?
Yes.
There was a third.
I don't know that actor's.
We're not here to
but
talk
those are the
about
two big
Explorers.
ones.
We're not here to talk about Flight of the Navigator.
That was a good one because it had a twist. It had a twist. The aliens.
Well, you just spoiled.
Hey guys, they were kids.
You just
they were
spoiled.
kids. The aliens were kids.
You
all
spoiled
along.
1985's Explorers.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right.
If you haven't watched it by now.
There you go. Sorry for that. No, we're not. Yes. Let's jump into Twin Peaks. I gave you the dates. I gave you who
let's do
wrote
that.
it. Let's just get into it. One other thing before I'm jumping over onto that thing. It's also cool to see, like, the show's not doing great as far as the ratings go. We know all about all these problems. It just got, like, put on hiatus. There's a letter writing campaign, and it's like you can feel the troops rallying. It's like Lynch is back as Gordon Cole. Now Mark Frost is back, like looking at the scripts and being like, okay, like let's sort of get this thing going. And in my opinion, they do. So that's where we're gonna take it. So let's
think so too.
Let's flight our navigators.
Let's fly into the Owl Cave, Eric.
The Twin Peaks Sheriff's Department is currently involved in several disparate investigations. The disappearance of known felon Leo Johnson, the appearance of my former partner and suspected murderer Wyndham Earle, and the discovery of petroglyphs of an unknown origin in a place called Owl Cave. Now, it would seem logic would dictate that these investigations be considered separate entities. However, I believe otherwise. I believe that these mysteries are not separate entities, but are in fact complementary verses of the same song. Now, I cannot hear it yet. but I can feel it.
So the boys return to Owl Cave only to discover that Earl has already been there. Cooper asks Harry, bring in Major Briggs.
So I guess this is the next day, because later scenes do say yesterday, blah, blah, but it's unclear from the very beginning. But yeah, they're back at the cave.
It's the next day. Yeah, they didn't wake each other up in the middle of the night like, we got to go back to Owl Cave. And
Well, it could be a week later.
Okay.
It could be
it's the next day.
It could have been a continuation of that scene. They looped back around after Earl left, and there they were. Anyway, they're there. Apparently, the rocks kept tumbling down, and now we have a huge petroglyph. Really cool. I forgot how cool that painting is. Well, whatever, petroglyph, the carving, whatever it is, looks so cool.
The standout one, obviously, you see like the giant and then a little fella and stuff. It's very
Little fella. Yeah.
It's very cool. I have a somebody bought me like a notebook that has that on the cover.
Oh, it's so great. Anyway, that was all very cool. Earlier, one of the early episodes in season 1, I had made fun of Hawk's tracking abilities because he kept losing Bobby and kept losing people.
Yeah, I did not like that.
I take it all back. Hawk's there looking at a sneaker or a shoe imprint. He knows everything about it. Hawk is the master tracker. So we got that back there. I'm a believer. Sorry, Hawk. I was always there in your corner. And I love that artist Andy is making a return here. We need a sketch of this, and Andy's on the case again. We haven't seen that since his sketches of Bob, so I hope he's been working on his art, but it comes out pretty well, so that's good.
Well, he gets a few pointers from Briggs later on.
Well, that's later. That's later. Hey, he's an artist. He's allowed to be fanciful in his interpretations. Anyway, it was great. Excited to see this. Now, Eric, it's with so much heavy doses of mythology in these episodes, and this is my happy place. So this is great.
All right, so we're gonna go to Earl's cabin. Wyndham's gonna tell a Burnout about the legend of the White and Black Lodges, and Leo's gonna look on intently, like ready for story time. It's like kindergarten story time. Like find your little. Remember, you'd get your little mat and you'd put it down and you'd sit there and they'd read from the little book. Remember that would happen in kindergarten or whatever, how exciting that was? Or if you'd have you'd get those cookies with the hole in the middle, and they would have you put it on your finger and then you'd just eat around the cookie until it was a ring.
Yeah.
Those are the good days.
Those are good days. It's too bad as an adult, you can't possibly do those things anymore. Eric, we got the story of the White Lodge and the Black Lodge, and I love this. I mean, you could see it coming a mile away, but Earl talking about the good place. That's good place is a completely different thing. The White Lodge as being a place of goodness and the sound of joy and laughter filling the airs and people doing good deeds, and he's disgusted by it. And then the Black Lodge, is full of power that he wants to harness. And I just thinking about having just talked through the autobiography of Dale Cooper. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give the full title. That's not what I'm here for, because I can't remember it.
Yes, you can. The autobiography of
a special agent,
FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper. My Life, My Tapes.
My Life, My Tapes. Where were we?
You were talking about the negative. He likes the negative part more than the positive part of it.
Yeah, no. But I'm thinking more about that. There was something in that book about hinting at Earl's kind of giving up on good. It wasn't just he's a mustache twirling villain. Something happened to him to give up on thinking that the world could be a good place, that guile is always going to be the Achilles heel of good, and evil always take advantage of it. And here, I know there's separate things. They're loosely related, maybe you might want to say, or they're not directly related, but I like that interpretation a little bit more than this feeling just it's all good and nice and it's disgusting. It just feels a little bit too heavy-handed to me in a way, having just read a bit that gives us a little more backstory of Wyndham Earl. It doesn't feel as full a picture of him as this kind of setup.
Right. The Earl in the book, as the way I read it, is, okay, the end result is what I'm after to win. And I have determined that doesn't matter if it's good or evil. People only remember who won. That's the thing that gets celebrated, not how they got there. Okay, now let me examine good and evil. Evil is always going to win because of guile. So therefore, that is the better path to take to get the end result because it doesn't matter. Like, he's not necessarily
Very well
you know what
said.
I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like this, like you're saying, is goodness is ugh. It's like a cartoonish. It's like
It's cartoony.
It's like the movie Legend, the Ridley Scott movie Legend, with darkness and like.
I require the solace of the shadows and the dark of the night. Sunshine is my destroyer.
But I like it too. Like,
It's still great.
yes.
Don't get me wrong. It's just in comparison
absolutely.
that it falls.
His
flat.
description of good sounds amazing, though.
Once upon a time, there was a place of great goodness called the White Lodge. Gentle fawns gamboled there amidst happy, laughing spirits. The sounds of innocence and joy filled the air. I mean, when it rained sweet nectar that infused one's heart with a desire to live life in truth and beauty.
The imagery is just very vivid, and I'm like, I want to hang out in the White Lodge, but he's like, ugh, the virtue is disgusting.
I know.
He's a power. He's after the power.
It is cool that we get to hear the story. It is so funny that he's telling this to some hapless burnout.
Rusty Tomasky.
That
Who?
Rusty is that the actor's name or the character's name?
That is the character's name. The actor's name, as you had asked, is Ted Raimi, brother of director Sam Raimi. He's also an
Get
actor.
out.
So if you've played, he's been in movies and I think he's directed some stuff. But he is in the video game The Quarry, which if you can play right now, I played it with my daughter. It's not great, but he's in it. Yeah.
Ringing endorsement.
It's enjoyable. It's not great. But anyway, yeah, this is a spoiler. But in the credits, it says Heavy Metal Youth, which I want to talk about in a bit. But the next episode, we're gonna get his full name, and it is Rusty Tomasky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, because of the ending of this episode. Anyway, that was it. The only other thing is, I love that at the end of the scene, it pans over to this monitor, and it has the petroglyph there, where other people would just have like like a screensaver of like flying windows or something. Instead, he just has a screensaver with the petroglyph, which is pretty cool. But anyway, really great. I don't know. What'd you think?
Oh, great. I love this scene. I enjoy his performance. I love Leo, how interested Leo is. And he's such an abused animal at this point that is completely at the mercy. Although we'll talk about it in a bit, whether or not he's
More to come.
He's waning. His power over him is waning. The Rusty Tomasky, he's supposed to be like I take it as a kid who's probably 17, who can't buy his own beer, but he looks older than Leo. So like the whole premise of like, where's my beer, man? Like he's with this old guy because he's gonna buy him beer. So and if you look at the credits, Heavy Metal Youth, like I take it as okay, it's like a 17-year-old because I probably would have went with anybody at 17 if they were gonna buy me beer. Otherwise, it's like you could buy your own beer. Like what?
Yeah, why are you partying with this guy at the woods, dude?
Why are you doing this? It's entertaining. It's a little bit over the top. The way he portrays this. So it's like it's also like an extreme version of like a metalhead type of guy, but it's entertaining.
I think the over the topness is actually good in a way because we really haven't had a whole lot of the pure soap opera kind of feel to the show in quite a while. I think. I mean, there's
I don't know about
love
that.
story stuff too. There's a lot of love story, but I do like the arch villain sort of thing is a trope in daytime TV. So I kind of like that is maybe a little bit what they're going for.
I'm talking about Rusty. Yeah.
No. Sorry for going back to Earl and his poetry, his flowery, like whatever.
No, but when I'm talking about being over the top, I'm talking about Rusty. Like his whole like, hey man, and like later on, it's very intense. But it's fine. It's a good
It's great.
scene. All right, so we're gonna jump over to the Blue Pine Lodge. Pete is writing an ode to Josie while working out his next chess move, and Catherine gives him Eckert's puzzle box.
Oh, poor Pete, man. Nursing his lost love. It just keeps repeating that over and over again, and Catherine coming in and just like, quit your, whatever it is, quit your whining, quit your whatever, you're moping. It's like, yeah, I would feel the same way if he's probably been doing that for hours, if not days, in earshot of Catherine the whole time. It's like, come on, dude. You don't have the best marriage in the world, but like this is a little over the top. Poor guy. We do get a little bit of Pete's backstory, like the time he spent in Guam.
Yeah, the Doolittle twins.
Yeah. Pete, was he a merchant marine or something? Why does that stick out in my head?
I assume, yes. I assume that it's
Okay.
a merchant marine type thing with the Doolittle twins and the monkey show, and I want to know more about
And
the monkey show. That sounds
Absolutely.
very interesting.
Yep. And now he's got the puzzle box. So yeah, that almost forgot about that a while ago after Ms. Jones was unceremoniously X'd from the show. We still got to solve that whole thing going on there. So we get more of that throughout this episode. But yeah, we got that going on.
I love obviously the whole story with Pete. Anytime Jack Nance has a moment for a scene is funny. He runs with that whole Doolittle twins thing, and like, come to think of it, maybe they weren't twins, and because one of them was bigger than the other, and that whole thing. His poem as well is all about like how lovely Josie is. So I just want to put a little mark on that. Take a little Post-it note, pop that on your page for a little bit later. I'll return to that. We learn a little bit about, it's a puzzle box. And that potentially it could take years to solve.
Oh, yeah, he does say that it could take years.
Yeah, that's sort of like my God. And I love just, because this is a TV show, it's like they also have to catch you up if you have not seen this episode. It's like, this is that puzzle box that I got from Thomas Eckert, as if like he had not seen it in all of their days. Or
Thomas Eckert, the guy who is right.
It's a puzzle box. His reading
so
of that
good.
line is fantastic.
Yeah,
I just love seeing him on screen. All right, so we're going to go over to the double R. Bobby hatches a new scheme that requires Shelley doing all the work again. He wants her to enter the Miss Twin Peaks pageant. Meanwhile, Lana leans on her new boyfriend / fiance, Mayor Milford, to throw the pageant in her favor. Cooper arrives, and in between his breakfast order, ass out Annie. And Cooper also learns of the poem that Earl sent Shelley. A lot going on here, Dan. There's a lot of stuff happening at the double R.
Yeah, I mean, this version of Bobby, he's such a creep. Just poor Shelley, which, later things happen. But like in this scene, I just feel so bad for her. This guy is just the worst. But Bobby says to her, if she wins this pageant, the sky's the limit for her.
Oh, yeah.
Because, beautiful people get all of the, get everything they want. When's the last time you saw a beautiful blonde on an electric chair? That's fine. But the prize is $2,000 in a scholarship. I don't understand where Bobby's like, where is this going to go, Bobby? How are you going to get more than that? Like, that's not nothing, but that's not like, well, that's set you on your way. You're going to be a millionaire in no time. So I don't understand what his plan is, but I guess that's Bobby for you. Just whatever he can do in the short term to try to get ahead. But yeah, putting that all on Shelley. She's not super interested in it, but that's all right. We got Lana. So disappointed in her being a cheater. Trying to cheat her way into winning this thing. But I guess all of this is just like trying to continue amping up the stakes for, what seemingly is going to be the big kind of finale for Wyndham Earl, what he's going to do here. So we got to get some scenes in here that kind of play into all of that as well. But yeah, rest of the scene, Cooper, I can't get enough of how happy and enthusiastic he is around Annie, not just in the way he talks, but his entire demeanor.
Right.
He's so unguarded and completely just like, I don't know, like effusive in his happiness, and it's just like pours out of him, and I just love it. Even just saying hi to her is almost like waving, and just it's a beautiful thing to see. I love this relationship that's starting here, and how it's affecting him, and neither of them are like trying to hide how much they're kind of falling for each other. I think Annie's a little bit more guarded than he is, but after everything we know that's happened to Cooper, it's great to see him like this too. So I love this relationship that's starting. Let's see. Yeah, and I think the juxtaposition of the two of them falling in love and being so like upfront about it is really well contrasted because you can see in the background Shelley and Bobby talking and how it's the exact opposite of that. It's like this love that's no longer really there anymore, at least for Shelley, I think. Bobby's not been giving her a lot of attention, and they're both like kind of just not saying the things they really want to say. So those are really nice juxtaposition as well. They've got the poem. Annie's Shelley like happens to quote the poem, which is a funny thing to do because that doesn't really feel like Shelley at all. But I love that that's, she has the piece, the third of the poem in her wallet, and Cooper's like, I need to keep this. And she's just like, okay, like it's Cooper. Okay, I guess this is important, but it was just.
It's also very impressive that she recalls the full poem, considering she only has a column of it.
She's got that little piece. I guess she memorized it when the three of them got together at the Roadhouse.
They only got together, put it all together. They each walked home with their piece, but she can remember it.
They must have had a little study session, I think. Then, yeah, that's it. I think, and then at the end, like Cooper plans a date with Annie to do a nature
study.
Nature study. That's what it was, a nature study. And he gets wrapped up in this whole thing with the poem. He recognizes it, obviously, and gets serious. And then she checks in with him. So about that, and he just like completely snaps back. It's like 4:00, see here. And she's also like not hiding how much she's into it as well. So I just love this for the romance of the scene. It just makes me so happy. I think we covered everything. What do you got to say about this?
All right, okay, Dan.
You want to get out of here? Let's go.
Yeah, let me in. Okay, I love this scene. Like, I feel like Bobby is such a dick. Like, he's such a total zero. Once again, he's using Shelley. She's with a guy that's using her. He switches to basically Leo. I mean, he's very aggressive. He's forceful with her. He grabs her. He says, like, you got to do this. Like, he's basically asking her to be in the Miss Twin Peaks pageant, but also saying, you're in the Miss Twin Peaks pageant, and you have to have this done by this time. Yeah. I don't know if Dana Ashbrook is making a choice to act like someone on cocaine or if I just sort of read that, but he also has like this manic energy and because he is a coke dealer. Like you forget the whole cocaine part of Twin Peaks. It doesn't really get mentioned anymore, the entire, drug subplot line, which I am obsessed with and figuring out who fronts who the cash, but we'll figure that out one other day.
Still haven't gotten to the bottom of it.
But he comes across with that kind of energy. I agree with you with Cooper asking her out on a date and how nervous he gets for his little nature study thing. I'm consistently very impressed with Leo's writing. Very good penmanship, what he's doing it. Shelley is so adorable both Annie and Shelley are adorable. After he asks her out, and we already were privy to that scene with the two of them where Annie's trying to act like, she's not really that interested in Cooper. Mm-hmm. And Shelley's like, oh, he really likes you. When he does ask her out and she says yes, and then she looks at her as they both walk away on either side of the milk machine is such a beautiful scene. Seeing Bobby, like, he's just a bad dude at this point. I'm still pulling for you. Bobby. You're going to pull this thing around. I also believe in Major Briggs' vision of you. All right, so we're back at the sheriff's station. Cooper and Harry discuss the poem Earl sent Shelley, Donna, and Audrey, and Cooper recognizes Leo's handwriting because he's just that good. Dan, it's a short scene, but we got some stuff going on.
Yep. We do find out that Cooper knows this poem, that moment of recognition and dread that he has in his face of the double R's because he sent this poem to Caroline. So he knows this is all part of Earl's plot, which was obvious to him anyway, but like the rationale behind it is a great thing to see here. Gives it a lot higher stakes. Gotta say, it's good to see Cooper back in his suit.
Yeah, we got him.
I don't know if he was in his suit in a previous scene or not, but it struck me in this scene in Harry's office, standing by the desk in the black suit. It's like, thank God we got him back. This feels so good. It's like old times again. We're like firing on all cylinders. It's great. Find out that Audrey's still in Seattle. So, it's only been a day, so we know that. But, so that's where we know Audrey's. That comes into play a little bit later. But yeah, we're cases moving along. We got another clue here. Cooper's on the case. It's old Agent Cooper. Love it. What do you think?
The only thing I guess to point out, like we learn a little bit more about Earl in the sense that Cooper lets us know that he takes perverse pride in his ability to insinuate himself into innocent lives.
Right.
Which is why, like, he keeps Why does he meet Audrey in the library and do his weird thing? Why is he going to, because he gets off on putting these people in danger or connecting to people that he knows are close to Cooper,
Right.
and all the psychological stuff. The thing about the poem is it would have been nice to have that little bit in the book. We don't get, we know they're together. It's a poem he once sent Caroline. If you go by the book, he's basically watching her in the house during their entire romance. So he would have sent it to her by handing it to her.
He slipped it under a door.
Right, he slipped it under her door. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a silly thing. But it would have been a cool little Easter egg if we had read that poem before, and then you would have been like, oh, cool, the way when you read the diary and then you hear Donna's story, that how exciting that is. Would have been a nice little thing if they had done it. But anyway, let's jump over to the conference room. This is where Cooper's going to fill Briggs in on all of the separate investigations, hoping to see how it all connects. He asked him to find information on Earl's work with Project Blue Book. The Major agrees, and the Cooper's hunch that the letter was written by Leo proves true.
So we got artist Andy drawing on the blackboard. So now we got the petroglyphs there, and I love that Briggs corrects him. That line should be going down further or whatever he says to Andy, which is great because he says, like, he doesn't know why he knows that exactly.
Are you familiar with this?
No, I've dreamed it. Or seen it. Somewhere.
Makes you think of when he disappeared and he doesn't quite have all the memories of that. I love that this is still, playing out for Briggs throughout all of this. Love that about him. I love that we're talking about Project Blue Book again. Honestly, I just got chills for some reason. That's weird. Anyway, I love that. I think this is really cool. What does Cooper say about the different cases? He says something like,
I believe that these mysteries are not separate entities, but are in fact complementary verses of the same song. Now, I cannot hear it yet, but I can feel it.
Beautiful description of this. The deep intuitive nature that he has. Again, it's the old Cooper from season 1 back, kind of missed him a little bit here. This is really kind of the classics. So I love that about him. We got this crazy, interlude on top of the scene. You got this silhouette of the hooded figure that we saw whenever Briggs disappears. The hooded figure behind the bright light over the ridge or hill. They superimpose these stars. You got an owl in flight. You got the flames. Then the close-up of the drawing of the fire with the upside-down owl. And then there's the astrological symbol for Jupiter right next to it. It looks like a little hooked numeral 4 next to it. I had to look it up. Jupiter in astrology, I had to look it up. No, I'm big into astrology. Is signifying hope, faith, and morality, which I thought was an interesting thing to tie to all this, especially with the upside-down owl next to it in the fire. That's pretty cool.
Well, I think that makes sense, right? Because if you think about this is something that Briggs went to, the White Lodge, it would make sense that it would be tied to hope, faith, and what'd you say, morality?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of the Black Lodge. So if that's the Black Lodge, maybe it's the Black Lodge symbol, maybe it's not the Black Lodge symbol. Maybe it's a key to the Black Lodge, maybe it's not a key to the Black Lodge. Inverted would be the opposite, so it could be.
I love that. Yeah, just putting
Lodge.
The two together is very cool.
Yeah. You get a lot of interesting transitional bits, like the one that you're mentioning. There's going to be more of those in this particular episode,
right?
That we're going to see. There's one with Earl and the cave wall we'll do later.
It's a really fun choice to do that because it does happen every once in a while throughout the show. No more so than famously Little Nicky in a thought balloon, but it's so effective, and I love that it kind of breaks the kind of mold of the show and does this interesting thing, and then it comes right back to the scene again. And then we got Cooper looking at the handwriting, comparing the two. He does say something about a person having brain injury or stroke or whatever he says is going to have certain changes to his handwriting, but some characteristics will always remain the same. To me, looking at the note that was written out compared to the handwriting sample that was in Leo's case file, looked nothing alike. But I'm not a special agent, so what do I know?
I thought it looked pretty close. I mean, it just pans over. You just see a section, but some of the letters looked the same.
Sure. I mean, you're more of a Cooper than I am. So, right. But it's cool. I thought it's a great scene. Again, more of this. The blue book. The whole. I didn't write down the notes, but in my notes. But Briggs talking about he would help Cooper up. He wants to satisfy some like moral questions he has about that. So I thought that was very cool. But go ahead, tell me what you thought.
Don Davis. I mean, any Briggs scene I'm gonna love. So I love all of you mentioned the stuff about As I Remember It and all of his stuff about memory and seeing, and just the way he interacts when he's correcting Andy on exactly how this petroglyph should work, or when he's pointing out that symbol about being in the deep recesses of his mind. We get 3 mysteries, right? So Cooper is like, there's these 3 separate cases or mysteries or stuff that we're trying to solve. Disappearance of Leo Johnson, appearance of Wyndham Earl, and the discovery of these petroglyphs. He's like, they all connect somehow, but how the hell does that happen? And we're going to find out. I love that Briggs is willing to break, like, because his oath to the government is so strong, and we also learned that he's lost his clearance as well. So like once he went rogue or when he disappeared, they pulled the clearance. We heard some of that stuff with the that guy Riley, Colonel Riley, that he didn't really trust the government at one point. Remember, he was just like running to the sheriff's station, and we're like, why is he running? So who knows what really is going on with Briggs and the government at this point, that he's had his clearance stripped, which is like an interesting thing to think about. But now, he's going to help him. So even though he doesn't have clearance, he's going to get access to these files, which I love. And the silhouette guy with the robed man, it's a weird, interesting thing that we'll see if it goes anywhere.
Feels very much like a music video from that era as well. I love it. Visual style is great.
Sure. It feels a little bit like A Song Remains the Same, the Led Zeppelin concert movie, as we all know, with the Jimmy Page segment when we're doing, he's climbing up the mountain and he's going to see the hermit. And he's playing the bow. So you know what I'm talking about in the head. So that it feels like it's in that same wheelhouse. Let's go to the Great Northern, Dan, where Dick is going to meet with Ben. And Ben's goodness is going to be put to the test.
Yeah.
Capital,
Mr. Horn. I'll alert my attorney.
Poor Dick with his knobbed nose. He's got that ridiculous bandage on it. I'm so glad that Dick's got so much to do in this episode. We really haven't had enough of him.
You get a lot of Dick.
Oh, man. I never thought I'd say this, but it's just too much Dick. I do like that we got the whole conversation about the medical expenses that Ben will, of course, pay for it, and Dick tries to get even more out of it. Workers' compensation will probably be involved in this.
Sure,
I'll have my lawyers draw this up or discuss it, whatever. And then Ben just being like, the urge to do bad is sometimes almost overwhelming, and then he reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a carrot. I like that. That's like his device to get him back on track. He's like eating well or whatever is going on. Like, I really like that about this. Like,
he normally he'd be smoking a cigar and having him executed.
Right, but instead he's chomping on a carrot and recognizing that he wants to do bad, but knows that he wants to do good. So again, Ben is really trying. Like, he's saying that in a soliloquy to the camera, like no one else is there, so this is actually his thoughts. He actually is real, and I love that. It's great.
That is the purpose of the scene, and why I think it's so great is because he really is trying to do good as all the bad stuff that Ben's done, and I like you said there's too much Dick. I'm happy every time Dick is on screen. It is like Dick. We're just gonna put them all out there. I think he's great, and you can see like. He doesn't ask for the money.
Right.
It's Ben trying to be good, and by trying to be good, he's getting taken advantage of.
Yes, guile.
Sonic boom!
Because there are people that as soon as you get an in are going to keep pushing, and that's what he does. And now all of a sudden we're talking about workers' comp, and you can just see the gears in Ben's head, like he would just shut this guy down completely and destroy his life, and he's just letting it happen. And it's also like penance for all of the bad stuff that he does. So I love Richard Beamer. He's always great. And he does a really good job with showing that struggle of like, it's so freaking hard to be good. And Dick's, he always cracks me up.
Yeah.
Ian Buchanan, he's a funny guy. All right, so we're going to jump back to Earl's place for a very strange scene where the what do they call him? Heavy metal youth is put inside a giant chess piece and unkilled, unfortunately.
Yeah. I saw him standing there with his head sticking out of the chess piece, all confined, and I swear to God, Eric, it was a Mr. Show character.
Oh, yeah, what was the name of that band? Oh God, not Wicked Scepter. The other one, where he gets burned. He's burned 99% of his body.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I can't remember the Make a Wish one. But yes, anyway, it really absolutely felt like David Cross in a wig with a goatee.
Titanica.
Oh, that's exactly right.
No way, Titanica! Oh my God! What are you doing here?
We came to see you, buddy.
I couldn't get it out of my head. It just felt like the entire thing was a Mr. Show sketch. Anyway, that was so we got him there. You got Earl with a crossbow and he's asking Leo for the arrow for it. And even Leo's unsure about this. Like, that's over the line even for Leo.
Yeah, he's starting to disobey a little bit. And you see a little bit of that, a hint of that when you see the Shelley card last week, I think it was. And now this, and he gets punished for it, but like,
boy howdy does it get punished.
Maybe there's a little Leo in there that's not liking his current position.
Trying to break free. Yeah. So you got that. The heavy metal youth says, "Don't zap the geek," which was, I thought, a great line.
Not because he doesn't want him to get hurt, because he wants his beer. He's like, "Don't zap the geek. How else am I going to get my beer?" And it's, again, he's supposed to be a kid, I guess. Get your own beer. You're now being paper mache'd into this giant chess piece because you want a beer. It's like, buddy, just go to the stop and go.
That's crazy. It's so funny. Yes, we got that. What's with the arrow, man? It's just like, this guy's so over the top.
It's very ridiculous.
Over the top. Yeah. It's great. But then we get Earl cocking the crossbow with the bullet over his shoe and points it at him, and he finally shoots. But that scene when he shoots him, and you see the arrow go in, and then immediately it's the dead guy with the blood coming out of his mouth.
The blood comes out very fast.
Very fast. Yeah. That whole thing was just cut together too quickly, and it just felt a little bit like whap whap. It didn't live up to everything that's being set up there, but otherwise, great Mr. Show sketch. I really enjoyed it. What about you, Eric?
I mean, it's all about the lilac parade. I like that. That's where he goes for. So what is this, for a lilac parade? It's just
whatever.
He just talks about how pumped he is for it too. He's like, he's fun. Like, it is over the top. It is kind of silly and goofy. Like, this is where it gets a little bit goofy. I may have told him to pull back a little bit on some of the readings here, but with this scene and the other scene, like, whatever, you gotta just deal with it. I don't know. It's fine. I kind of mentioned all the stuff that I do like about it. Leo sort of pulling back a little bit and just seeing a little bit of that. But it's fine. I don't know. Did the blood bother you? Because it's like the same red color that bothered you on Josie, when Josie was putting the blood on her lips. She did the blood brother scene.
It didn't look real. It didn't look like blood. Yeah, no, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of a Dario Argento type film. I'm fine with that blood. It comes out way too fast because he's getting shot in the abdomen, it looks like, or in the chest.
Seemingly. Yeah.
It's just immediately coming out of his face. It's fine. It's silly. This whole thing is like, it's like on the border of like Adam West Batman villain, like where you put someone in a giant chess piece. But, it's fine. It's all good. Hello, friends, and welcome to the midpoint. You knew it was coming, but it's important. It's important to champion those that have joined us in the Black Lodge and have made this show possible by going above and beyond. I'm, of course, talking about Eric Knopp, and Dawn Adamo, and Gregory Flanagan, and Chuck Suffel, and Banjo Track. I may want all my Garmonbosia, but you will have my heart forever. How did they get here? How did they get a shout out like this? Because they have joined our Patreon, which is available right now. So if you want to support the show, you can stop by and sign up for free or do one of the paid tiers that gets you the secret podcasts and you help us out. Go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile and you should see a link for the Patreon there. All right, let's get back to the proper episode. All right, so we're going to jump over to the Roadhouse where Ben is going to speak to the judges about the pageant. And Donna and Ben say a lot without saying anything. And the Miss Twin Peaks candidates register for the event. Dan, what do you got for the Miss Twin Peaks pageant?
Why are they at the Roadhouse? Why, of all places?
Well, they do a lot of public events at the Roadhouse. If you're gonna confront the host of Bob, you do it at the Roadhouse.
Okay, that makes sense to me. For some reason, that logically makes sense.
If you're gonna have a trial, well, that's where they had the hearings for Leo and for Leland, the Roadhouse.
But in the first, what was it? The first was it in the pilot or one of the first episodes? They have the town meeting.
They do have the town hall.
Like they have that place where I was not expecting it.
This is the place. This is like a community center / bar
/ biker bar. It's
fine.
so strange. Like it is strange because you start with the scene with the mayor and Doc Hayward and Pete there with the red curtain behind them. And I didn't realize where they were until the reverse shot and you see that they're in the Roadhouse. I was like, it just struck me as being very odd, but also, sure, why not? That's fine. You're right. It's the local biker bar and youth center.
You got your Doc Hayward, you got your Mayor Milford, you got Pete Martell. When the mayor starts going off about how excited it is, and he just keeps repeating, it's very exciting, it's very exciting, it's very exciting. Joss Boylan, who plays the mayor, is so funny. And I haven't seen him in a lot of stuff. So he is like such a wonderful talent, and his timing is fantastic from the first time that you see him in the pilot when he's doing Is This Thing On? And even all of his scenes with Lana are fantastic. So I'm a huge fan of that guy. You find out, I mentioned before he's engaged, but you get confirmation of that from Ben's, like, congratulations on your engagement. So she's she's planning on marrying the brother of her deceased husband, who has not been dead that long, unless we forget. And it's an interesting collection. It's like Doc Hayward, okay, Pete, and the mayor. So it seems like, whatever, you would have like people from the industry. Doc Hayward I could see, but had Pete end up in there, I'm not really sure.
Pillar of the community, Pete.
Again, it's like another scene with Ben. He wants to change the format of the pageant. No longer Ben. This is One-Eye Jack's Ben.
Yeah.
Doesn't want it to be focused on, the curves of women and like their appearance and everything, but it's going to be focused on saving the forest,
Yeah.
And so it's obviously he has an agenda that Pete rightly points out. And even the mayor, like, what are you selling?
What are you selling?
Cutting right to the chase. I love it. So yes, it's good, but it's not completely off the beaten path for Ben because it's all serving his self-interest anyway. Right. So it's just those two things happen to be going in parallel, which I love.
Yeah.
The way Ben talks to Bobby as well. So you say all this stuff about Bobby, and he's not being a good guy, and he's being a jerk, and he's grabbing Shelly and doing all these horrible things. But then Ben's just like, I want you to go get my dry cleaning. Like, that's what his assistant job is. It's so humiliating. Shelly's always great. You see how nervous she is talking about throwing up, or the last time she did talk public speaking was like a 4th grade or whatever she says. I love it. All the tension with Donna and Ben, and Donna acting very strange. She won't make eye contact with Ben, but then she watches him as he leaves. Like, we'll see where that's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Nadine is entering the contest. Mike, who's smitten with Nadine at this point,
absolutely.
And when Bobby's like, what is going on with you? I can't believe it. And he whispers whatever he whispers to him. It's so intense that Bobby immediately starts playing pinball.
Do you have any idea what a combination of sexual maturity and superhuman strength can result in? Sorry.
He hears this thing and he just freaks out. It's like, woo! And then he just starts playing, and he's in the middle of playing with, it's like that, you watch that kinetic energy of whatever act Nadine is performing on Mike, or whatever act Mike's performing on Nadine, or maybe they're performing together. I don't know, but it's
a duo act.
Wonderful, and it just completely turns itself into pinball, which I just find very amusing. And the way they look at each other too, like the Mike and like they're in love. Like
yeah,
it's real. Their love is real, people.
It's real. It's good to see Mike and Bobby back together again, as much as they are like the worst people in the world. Well, in my estimation. Yeah. Hey, okay, that's not true. There's many worse people in Twin Peaks alone than them, but like still, they're not great guys. It is nice to see them together, especially now that they've like changed so much in different respects. Totally agree. The way that Nadine's looking at him. The way that she's so excited about to fill out the forms that she can try out for, be a contestant for Miss Twin Peaks is great. Shelley, like you said, she was so nervous. She doesn't do public speaking. And Bobby's way of trying to make her feel better is, don't worry, I'll write the speech for you. And she's not like, oh, okay. She's like, oh man, that's not it. He's totally missing the point. Like, that's not how you're going to try to soothe your girlfriend about this, especially when you pressure her into it. He's not the best guy in the world.
And she's got such low self-esteem.
Right.
That she thinks that's what she deserves.
If only some guy
may come and tell her that she's a wonderful person, and see where that goes.
Not that she needs a man to have her own self-worth. Yeah, that's the word. Okay. Self-worth. But anyway, that's it. Interesting scene, especially just the fact that it's all happening at the Roadhouse just made me just laugh. But anyway.
At the Blue Pine Lodge, Harry asks Catherine about Josie, trying to understand what happened. Catherine theorizes why she did what she did and introduces Harry to the puzzle box. She's introducing this puzzle box to anybody that'll give her 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got Harry and Catherine coming together. It's weird to see like Harry asking her for help here. It's just an uncomfortable situation just to see Harry in this spot, especially after seeing the kind of torment he's been through, and now Catherine kind of being the person that he's going to get more information.
Yeah, you get the sense like he's got nowhere else to go, and this is the closest person that he has to that would know her better.
And I love Catherine's explanation of like what Josie needed to believe may have shifted from moment to moment, and she may not have like been like lying in terms of the way that she felt. She like, it's just because of the way that she grew up or her background, she's believing what she needs to believe in that moment. But I thought it was a very kind of, in a way, understanding and compassionate way to look at Josie coming from Catherine. You wouldn't expect that at all. So kind of pleasantly surprised by that. And I think it was a really interesting insight into Josie's character. I don't know how accurate it is, but I think it was an interesting take on her. I gotta say, I love Pete. He's fantastic. But I did get the ew whenever he came in talking about what a crop of like beauties he's got in the pageant. It's a very like the 80s, 90s sort of POV there, but it's like rubbing his hands while he's talking about it. Gave me the ick, but that's okay. It's fine. I love Pete. They got the puzzle box thing, and this like relationship that just is like, this is Catherine and Pete in a nutshell. He wants to see it, and he's going to grab it from her or take the box from her, and Butterfingers drops it. But then it opens up.
Well, not from her.
Oh, was he getting it from Harry at that point? Okay. Anyway, he was taking the puzzle box, drops it. Oh no, he ruined it. But actually no, popped open the side panel there. And I like that he's like, seeing if he can drop it again in order to open it up further or to do more. It's just like a super funny way to. And is this the scene we actually do get to see what's inside the puzzle box? We get like the different moon
the phases of the moon. Yeah.
And different symbols, which I didn't do the research on what each of the symbols were around the moons and stuff, but
your waxing and your waning,
your waxes,
your crescent moons, your half moons,
lucky stars, blue diamond, horseshoes,
blue diamonds. Okay.
No, that's Lucky Charms.
Is that it? Are you done?
You're full. To end on.
You're real. Yeah, I don't even know where you ended with that. But I'll
fine.
start at the beginning, but there was a reason
Okay.
why I said it was from Harry and not from Catherine.
Oh, please tell.
It was more than just being, what's the pedantic? Is that the right word?
I love pedantry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Before we even get to this scene, like there's that interesting transition bit which sort of bridges the previous scene to this scene, which I forgot to mention.
Oh,
which is we
right.
see Cooper and Hawk's flashlights over the cave drawings, and then it sort of dissolves into Earl's face, just kind of looking intently at the screen, which is weird. I mean, you could sort of view it one way as like Earl's thinking about Cooper finding this map that he's already seen, right? Because he followed them in and sort of saw that whole thing happen because he's the one that turned it upside down. Or, you know, it's when Cooper looked at the map, he thought about Earl, and it's just that moment. Or it's just a show showing us two separate events simultaneously for whatever reason. But all of those things are kind of interesting to think about. I kind of think it is Earl thinking about Cooper finding it because he has this whole thing planned, and he's kind of like that, but it could go anyway. Poor Harry, man. Poor Harry just getting told from Cooper that basically she was a prostitute, she was fooling people all the time, to Catherine saying like, oh, she probably never showed you her true self. You know, nobody knows who Josie is. And what Harry says is he goes, but she was so very beautiful, which, you know, because this is after Catherine says, I had a hard time hating her. And he's like, but she was so very beautiful, which really reduces her to only being pretty, you know, which of course she was, but there must have been something more about her for Harry than her looks. But that's where he goes. And that's the same thing Pete's writing about. When Pete's writing his poem, he's focusing on her beauty. It's all about her beauty. And that's when Catherine puts Harry onto this puzzle box. And the puzzle box is Josie. It's a gift from Eckert. It's this enigma. It's this mystery. And it's also something that appears one way, but underneath there's more puzzles. So it's this like, and who unlocks it? It's Pete and Harry. It's them two together grabbing for this mystery and dropping it, and voila.
Damn, dude. That was really good.
Well, that's why I was like, when you said, I was like, no, it's both of them. And it's like, damn.
I love that.
So it's their mutual affection for Josie is what unlocks it, which is cool. And I love the whole puzzle box about the phases of the moon. We'll see eventually if they get that open. All right, so we're going to jump over to the lake in Easter Park, which maybe I'll discuss that in a bit. I believe it's Black Lake, but again, we'll discuss that in a bit. Cooper and Annie share their first kiss while Earl watches.
Cooper asks Annie again about the convent and life there, but I'd like that she's just not ready for it, and he's totally fine with that. So she just kind of tries to change the subject a little bit. But they talk about hiding from your fear and how that just makes it stronger, which, you know, the overall kind of metaphor of the entire show. It's not just good and evil, but fear and hope, and you know, the fear that the secrets that you keep are the things that are going to actually come back to harm you. I'd like that that's kind of making a showing here as well. She says that everything went so wrong for her when she was in Twin Peaks, and you know, again, we don't know the story. I don't remember the story. I don't know her entire backstory, but it all centered around a guy. That was the inciting thing that caused her to seemingly it's all connected with the suicide attempt and going to the convent. It's, you know, that well-worn trope, and I think it's a little bit too much. But anyway, I like that we're getting a little bit more of this story from her, but getting it on her own terms and how she wants to talk about it. Cooper talking about, you know, how we can sympathize with this, the dark tunnel that you can fall into, I thought was a great way of explaining that. And he's still offering to help. It does strike me a little bit, the Cooper White Knight savior complex coming through here. He can't help himself. It's not that it's not genuine, but that's just such the major force of his personality, of his character, is to be that person who's going to try to solve people's problems. I mean, it's why he's an agent in some ways, or why he's so good at being an agent. It was just, I guess savior complex is a little bit too strong, maybe, but like that's what it kind of strikes me as through all this. Not that he's not absolutely still, genuinely has feelings for her, but that's how he chooses to express that. I like she, trying to trust her instincts, and her instincts are telling her to trust Cooper, and Cooper is, the very intuitive person as well. So these two are so well suited. I love that. But now we get, again, because he's let his guard down, because he's let himself feel what he's feeling, he's put her in danger again. So you get that shot of Earl.
Also in a costume. Like, his costuming is not done, but it's a smart costume.
The costuming as a duck hunter.
Fisherman, but right?
Was it fisherman?
I assume so, yeah. Or a duck hunter, whatever. He's someone killing an animal.
Nothing on the face, just all costume for his accoutrement that he's wearing. But anyway, so it was a lovely scene. It was nice to see the two of them there, walking by the gazebo as well, which just gives you flashbacks to previous times there.
Right, the whole gazebo thing, like, I think this is Black Lake, right? It's the same lake that runs adjacent to the Blue Pine Lodge where Laura was found. She washes up. So, like, there's this lake where, Blue Pine Lodge has to be. Laura's in the plastic and that thing. We've seen the gazebo shot many times with the water in the background, certainly with Donna and James, and when they did the
Maddie and all that,
Maddie and everyone. But when we get to the access guide, which maybe if you're reading this now, or we'll try to review it for people that can't find it, which is totally understandable, they've got the gazebo in the middle of town. Like, you would think you would get that one piece of thing right is the map. Doesn't matter. I'll complain about that later.
Great. Can't wait.
I love this scene. I love I love Annie's character. I mean, honestly, I always felt closer to nature than I did to people. Yes, 1,000%. When she's talking about Norma, like Norma's always the popular one, and I was always feeling like I was a stranger or an alien or an outsider. In a perfect world, this would have been a wonderful time, again, to connect to the autobiography and have him talk about Emmett. Or, you know what I mean? Like introduce a little bit more of the Cooper family life that we got from the book that just came out in bookstores while this episode is airing. And I understand the people are working on different things or whatever, but it would have been a nice little connection if we could have got there. Cooper going right to the boyfriend question, like, oh, do you have a boyfriend? Is a boyfriend at home? Like, when he gets into that story, I like this bit a little bit more maybe than you did, about like the boy leading to it, because I feel like you have to have her being hurt by love, because that's the thing that's hurting Cooper so much. So not that it's always the man that has to be the thing that brings you down, but that's just a counterbalance. I feel like you needed it for Cooper, and maybe that's just
no. That's a really good point. Yeah,
it is a well-worn trope, as you've brought up.
But the connection for the two, actually, that makes it feel great.
Right.
Okay,
because it's all about love, and then now love and fear, like they're balancing love and fear, like fear, this is going to happen again if I give in to love, and if I give in to love, and then fucking Earl sitting out there like a weirdo, and you're just like, uh-oh, Annie, like he's looking for a queen, like it's not a good situation for you. And Earl's always there, creeping while you're sleeping, not unlike some Cooper stuff in the autobiography, peeping there. They do get a kiss too. It's like, so all of a sudden now we get a kiss, we get a little kiss on a lake. But you're no kisses on the lake in the Great Northern, Dan. No, there's Dick and his wine tasting soiree. Onophaliac. I wrote it down, and now I can't pronounce it. I can't remember how it was pronounced.
Onophiliac, because then Andy says, oh no, what?
Okay, right. Yeah, onophiliac. Dick runs an onophiliac soiree to benefit the Stop Ghostwood Development movement. Dan, a lot of comedy going on here.
Is there? Okay, you said that you find Dick funny.
I think so. I enjoy this scene.
One of my only notes in this was I found it so tedious. I just found this entire scene.
You go back to it, so if you didn't like it this time, you're going to get more.
We got more. I actually kind of like the second round a little bit more than this one. It just whatever. It's fine. I like Dick's mounting frustration throughout. So that's kind of fun to watch, like the pot simmer a bit, as he's just like, he's barely able to keep it together. As Andy, takes the sip and then not yet, and tells him to spit it out, and he spits it back into the glass, which is funny. So like, you still get Andy, which makes me happy anyway. But it's just the scene does not do a whole lot for me. You get Lana in here. You still get like the little moments of Dick looking at her, that whole like, Black Widow seductress thing. So like, that's not totally gone. You don't really see it a whole lot elsewhere. Obviously the mayor is completely like under her spell. But you do see moments of that as well. And I guess this is more in the second part of this scene when they come back to it. But just the kind of rivalry, I guess, in a way, of Lucy and Lana. Yeah. Although it's very much a one-sided. I don't think Lana even gives Lucy a second look.
It's definitely one-sided. I would say to your point, they've completely dropped that as a plot device, that Lana has this magical effect over men. It doesn't affect anyone. Dick is coming on to every woman that he like. Oh, nature.
Maybe it's just
he's
Dick,
just
then.
a creep, and it's the old. I'm going to show all the attention to this pretty girl, even though she says stupid things. And, she's like, by smelling, which I find very funny. I find her delivery very funny in that thing. And I get more of the comedy, I think, out of it than you do. So it worked for me.
I mean, I recognize the comedy.
Yeah, it's acquired taste.
I just want to move along. Yeah, like wine. I just want to move along a little bit more. I
find Andy very funny in this situation.
Andy's good. I'm glad we get to see some of these characters that we love. But some of it feels a little bit like speed bumps as we're starting to ramp up towards the end. They feel like digressions to me in a way that aren't super helpful. So that's all. Maybe the scene in and of itself is fine, but it's like interrupting the flow of where we're heading for the rest of the stuff. Maybe that's what it is.
I like just seeing Dick with his nose bandaged, like he looks like he's Jack Nicholson in Chinatown, and Well, first off, we talk about Lucy. Like, why is she still jealous of Dick? Like, why are they still pushing that plot? Like, at this point, he's not interested. Andy is still obviously the better man. She's pregnant, which we'll get to later, but she's drinking wine for whatever reason. I got to give it up. If you're going to give an award out, you're going to say, hey, good job on this scene. It has to be, there's an extra that is going over the top with the wine tasting. He is giving it this all. There's this old guy in the front.
Yep.
That when they say before, don't taste it, he's swirling around. He's really working it. He's just hoping maybe if they see me, they'll.
I think in the second scene, coming back to him, whenever they say now take another sip, he full on chugs the rest of the glass. Yeah. So I know the guy you're talking about.
He's going all out. You can't miss him. He's like, no. How do I pull all the attention to something that is not needed for this scene? And
do we get his autobiography as well?
Yes, that's next week. Cool. We have to read that. So I hope you're reading the autobiography of Extra number 3. Okay, back at the Double R, we're going to get Gordon Cole regaling Shelley with his tales of bravery over pie. Cooper and Annie join them for a double date. And Gordon gets up the nerve to steal a kiss.
I just love seeing Gordon and Shelley spending more time together.
Yeah.
It's great to see him here. Still, so mesmerized by the fact that he can hear her. It's just, I love it. It's just great. So they're just like talking in a normal tones to each other. And then he sees Cooper and shouts, "Join us for some pie." It's fantastic. It never gets old. I love it. Yeah, I do feel bad though. They are kind of a little bit on a double date, but Shelley's in her place of work.
Where else are you going to go? And the pie's very good. They have the entire counter, the tabletop is full of pie.
Full of pies. I mean, I don't know. If I were Gordon, I'd say let's get all the pies to go to Easter Park or so. I don't know, whatever. Take a page out of James' playbook and have a picnic. Cole professing his love for Shelley. I can't quite read as like Shelley's not saying no. Obviously, they do kiss, but is she that into him or not? Because that's pretty. I can see why he's smitten. Like she's magical to him, obviously, and she's beautiful, and he thinks she's wonderful and blah. But I don't know. It's a big risk. I guess it pays off. He gets that kiss. calls her a rare and precious individual. And the timing of going in for that kiss just as Bobby comes in is fantastic. You couldn't ask for anything better. And the whole thing of like Gordon being oblivious to it, it's like he acts like he's never seen two adults share an intimate moment before. He's going to see it again or whatever he says. It's just fantastic. And Shelley, actually, this part for sure, kissing Gordon in front of Bobby, that I'm pretty sure she does like.
This scene is fantastic. Now, this scene is not in the script. This was not a scripted scene. So Lynch wrote this kiss scene into the script.
Oh, no.
And he talks about it in Slice of Lynch, that it was like the greatest moment of his life.
Madgekin, you just got, solid gold. And I got to kiss you, Madgekin.
I know. I feel honored.
I feel, are you kidding me? One of the highlights of my life. And I remember thinking, how sick is this? Writing that into it so I could kiss Peyton.
But still, the pen kept...
Yeah, it was automatic writing.
Automatic writing.
Coming.
For me, it was,
How many takes did we have to do with that?
a lot. We had to do a lot. We had to get it just right. There was focus problems.
I know.
There was battery problems. There was always something going on.
That he got to kiss Machen. So this, like, if you look at the actual script, it goes from the previous scene to the next scene. So they just sort of threw this thing together.
Oh, no.
This whole double date thing.
It's great, but I don't like that he's doing it in order to kiss Machen.
Well,
I know I'm overstating it, but still.
I love it. To answer some of your questions
scene,
about my feelings on it, I do think she's genuinely interested because people aren't talking to her this way. His stories are really interesting. I think she's definitely charmed by him. I don't think that she's like in love with Gordon and she wants to run off with Gordon, but I think she really does like the attention. And when she sees Bobby come in, it's like, I'm going to get you jealous kind of thing, as well as sort of, you know, he's adorable. I mean, how could you not be charmed by Gordon Cole? So it seems genuine to me, but not in a way where I think that Gordon Cole and Shelley are now going to go off and her and Bobby are done. But I like it. I love this scene. I like the double date. Yes, of course, you know, he's writing himself into the thing and he runs the show and like, but they're friends and, you know, she talks about as well that this is like her favorite thing. This whole idea of like, he can only hear one person in the world.
Right.
And it's Shelley.
I felt honored that Agent Cole could only hear one person on this earth, and it was Shelley Johnson. That just was my favorite moment of all during the whole series. Right.
That was fun when you came on and we did that stuff together. That was great.
And Machen as an actress talking about it. So she speaks very highly of this interaction in this scene. All right, so we're going to, well, I guess now you also have to ask, like, will Bobby finally realize what he has and appreciate Shelley? Will this, every step, I keep stopping a step by step.
Boy.
Go, is this it? Is this it? Is this it?
Is this it?
We'll find out. All right, so we're going to go over to back to the wine tasting for Dan's favorite comedy duo. Dick moves in on Lana, and Lucy's jealousy bubbles over, and Andy is trashed.
Yeah, I
don't forget she's pregnant.
Well, she does say, I'm pregnant, I'm not supposed to drink, and then she spits the wine on Dick, which is fantastic. So maybe she really wasn't drinking.
I guess, but would you do a wine tasting if you were pregnant? I don't know.
Well, you can definitely, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be spitting it out. So the scene is great. Like the tip of Dick's nose is now stained purple. If you notice, I don't know if it's the skin showing through or is it the wine?
Because he keeps putting in for sniffing it. Yeah.
He's been sniffing it, so that's great. They're talking about the different, you know, now what do you taste in this? And Lucy says whatever she says. And he's like, no.
Yeah. He's being nice to everyone but her.
But Lucy.
Even Andy.
And Lana's like, smacking her lips. Banana? And it's like, very good. It explains that. It's great. Even Andy saying chocolate. Yeah. It's like, that's very good, Andy. Then he says, you know, let's sip again and see what else this discovery. And then the guy in the front just pounds it, which I thought was funny. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a whole lot. But Andy was trash. I don't know if I really...
Yeah, because he was not spitting. Like, he keeps swallowing. And I think, like, as Andy gets drunker, he's, like, more appealing for some reason to Dick. That, like, the drunken Andy, for whatever reason, is a... Because the scene before, he's yelling at Andy, like, don't drink now. And now he's like, you're cool. So maybe he's just got to give Andy a little bit of something to drink. All right, we're going to jump over to the Great Northern Bar where John Justice Wheeler and Cooper talk about love, and John gets a telegram.
Yeah, nice little fireside chat between the two gentlemen. It looks very cozy. Cooper's drinking milk, I think.
He is, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's nice. I like that. Nice touch.
He generally doesn't drink a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Although we have seen him drink alcohol, but I think he's on duty still, but
definitely
because
still
now I don't know.
Still in his suit. But that's great. Got them sitting there. John Justice saying love is hell.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. He's got it bad.
You feel everything, even the hard stuff or the pain.
It's like a crowbar to the heart, but helps unlock it, which I thought was another. Like, there's some really nice writing in this episode for sure. Not that that's a uncommon thing in this show, but I think it's especially so throughout all of this. You got a telegram, which just felt very old-fashioned, so I had to look it up, and I guess that was still a fairly common
1991.
thing. You can still do it now. Western Union, however, does not do telegrams anymore, but there are services. I don't know. It's just a very funny thing, like a telegram of all things. And he's back out, getting his jet ready and flying off. But yeah, it was a nice heart to heart there, especially for Cooper. Do we know if Cooper knows that that he's talking about Audrey? Have we seen them all together?
No,
I don't think we have.
No.
Okay.
Not that I can recall.
It'd be a nice moment for Cooper to know that Audrey is kind of moved on and having like this. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully he finds out at some point. But anyway, I don't know. Tell me, what do you think? It was a small scene.
I just like it. I like that it's just the two men in Audrey's life, and it's like a nice bridge between like the world we have and the world that might have been with a Cooper and Audrey. So it's like here these two characters are meeting. One of them at one point seemed like they were going to be with Audrey, and now the other one is. It's good. It's a good scene. I like the back and forth dialogue that they have, like you mentioned. We know Mark Frost is writing this script as well as Harley Peyton, so
yeah,
it's good. It's a nice little scene, and I'm glad it's in there.
Yeah,
I kind of like it more that assuming that I'm correct and that he doesn't know that it's Audrey, because it's just two guys talking about love, not realizing, or at least for Cooper's perspective, not realizing it's Audrey. So it's just these two, because then he'd have all this other stuff, and then maybe he would be. So it's just kind of like this chance encounter between these two people.
Yeah, and from the other perspective, I don't know that Audrey's ever told John exactly that it was Cooper that she was getting. He surmised that there was someone else, and she says there was a person.
Yes.
I don't know if she ever said.
Yep,
so both of them are like
Cooper.
In the dark about the fact that they're kind of sharing that moment. That's great. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go over to the Haywards. All right, at the Haywards, Donna confronts her mom about Ben Horn.
Oh, Donna. First of all, it's family dinner. Where are the sisters?
Yeah, they don't get a lot of screen time.
They never get more screen time.
She's all of a sudden an only child. It's like poor Harriet is, off writing a poem, and who's the other one? Gersten Hayward is the ballerina.
Okay.
/ Paul's sister, Aaliyah of the Knife from Dune.
Not until you tell them both who I really am.
Small note. Family dinner. Where are the girls? I'm assuming they have after school activities. Some people got to still go to school in this town. We got Doc Hayward still trying to keep up the lie about the charity.
Oh, God, poor Doc Hayward.
He's all thumbs here. Like, Eileen is that thing I told you. Like, all he has to do is like wink, wink, and nudge, nudge out loud. So that's very ham-handed. Gotta say, Eileen looks a little bit like she's doing cosplay as Goody Proctor. I'm not sure what she's wearing there, but she's got this black dress with the lace top. It's a very, I don't know, there was a weird 90s moment where everything felt a little bit Victorian. I don't know what she's wearing there. Anyway, that's fine. Eileen does try to change the subject and says, "How's school going?" with an undertone of like, "Are you still going?" It's just terrible. And Donna's, small thing in the plot, but I've noticed this a couple of times. Donna says she's going to use the scholarship to go study overseas.
Yeah.
I'll show you. People have said it's a scholarship to the school of your choice. On the poster in this very episode, it says a tuition to WSC.
It's just the point of her saying she's trying to get away from her parents.
That's what I said. It was just a small plot point that doesn't matter at all, but it's come up a couple of times and it keeps sticking with me. It's like, what is it actually? But anyway, so we got all this going on. Donna I get it. She's absolutely right to feel this way, and they've been lying to her, but she's such a jerk. I don't know.
Well, they're straight up lying to her.
To her face.
Right.
In the, roses, she mentions the roses again as well. That's pretty romantic, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that. So I totally get where she's coming from, but she's just like, I don't know, such a jerk about it. So your parents have been lying to you for your entire life. Come on, be polite. Anyway, I don't know. Tell me what you think about this lovely family dinner.
Well, she heard a lot of interesting things in that when they were spying in the Great Northern. So, I mean, who knows where her mind is going on what exactly is going on here. I don't know. I think we covered everything past the peas. What else am I going to say? Just Donna's not having any of it. And I feel for Doc Hayward in this scene. Will's got he's got a lot of explaining to do. Will, what's going on here? All right, so let's jump over. Let's get away from the Haywards. Finally, let's get away from the Haywards and go to Easter Park, where the police have found a large, comically sized wooden box, inside of which is the dead Burnout inside a black pawn.
Yep, we got another of that interstitial, the or whatever you want to call it, but the silhouette of the hooded man, the moon, and the flying owl again.
Yep.
All right, so he said that was going to make a return, and there it was. You get I'd like again, Cooper's trying to, he's going to open the box. He's worried. He doesn't know if it's a trap. Is someone going to be in danger? So he uses a rock, picks that up, and, takes the cord to tie it around. And it just brings to mind, again, the Tibetan scene of throwing the rock at the glass bottle. I just love that. It's this, I've said it 1,000 times already this episode, but, it feels like old Cooper back again. Just playing all the hits that I love. You can keep playing them forever. It's fantastic. But he's got that set up, shoots the rock, and opens up the thing. Just kind of chilling to hear, Earl is changing the pattern of the game board. You just don't know what this madman is going to do. So, he said that, he's bound by his own set of rules, that Earl, has a set of rules. He's bound by them. He's going to, play fair. But I don't know, it just makes me wonder, is he changing the rules of the game?
But did he change the rules of the game? I mean, he didn't leave the move, I guess. He usually has the move written somewhere. But if we remember last time Cooper moved, or Pete told Cooper to move, that pawn forward that was going to be in the line of sight of the bishop. And he was like, he's not going to take the pawn because my bishop will or my rook will take his bishop. But he's not changing the rules of the game.
Well, not the rule. He says the pattern of the game board. I'm extrapolating from that. Is Earl getting so frustrated or whatever that he's just gonna
he's just playing more recklessly in the fact that he would get rid of a
lose his advantage,
right?
Yeah,
for this in that sense. But it's also you think the writers are how much longer we want to play this chess game.
That's true. Again, and he says even in the note, next time will be someone you know. So it's it could have been a higher stakes thing at this point, but they chose to kind of keep it.
No, it can't be a higher stakes thing because he's following the rules of the game. Now, in this situation,
who knows what a pawn counts as, though? Pawn has to be someone he doesn't know?
It would have for his rules. It could have been, I guess, somebody maybe a pawn could have been Joey Polson, I guess, could have been maybe Joey Polson could have been a pawn.
Sure,
to throw
that
him
makes
out
sense.
there.
Actually,
I think maybe he would be a knight, but I don't know. Maybe he's doing other things. But to your point, yes. But I just hate that he's it's changing the rules of the game because they're are we going to keep?
How do we get out of this,
guys? Thing? We'll see if the chess game lasts much longer.
I bet it goes the whole way through the return.
Okay,
that's my guess. Fantastic. Anything else in this scene?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is where I mentioned it being like Adam West. So you've got like the giant box with the novelty size "Pull Me" written in a very fanciful font. Yep. It feels very much like it was delivered from Acme with like a Wile E. Coyote thing.
Beep, beep.
It's cool. I don't mind the theatrics of Wyndham Earl's character. It's interesting. Like it's cool. It put him in a big thing, but I don't know. It's fine. It's a good ending. I like it. I like the transitional thing too with the owl, and you're trying to figure out like what all this has to do with fire and owls, and
right.
And if we can get back then, and hey Coop, what happened to Josie is what I want to know.
That's the real pressing question. And honestly, and how is James doing in Mexico? That's what I want to get back to.
Yeah, we may not hear from James for a while.
Not for a while.
Yeah. But again, I knew it. Like Cooper's moving that pawn. He's like, has he not learned? Has Cooper not learned the fact that he won't take this? He's playing his knight and he's protecting it. And there he is, taking the first pawn. And he did the same move. You cannot leave a piece that will get taken because Earl will take it.
Yeah. We'll see where this goes, Eric. What do we have coming up next?
Path to the Black Lodge is next, episode number 27.
Boy, does that sound good.
I think we only have 3 left. Isn't that crazy? So next time we're doing Path to the Black Lodge, which is episode 27, as I said. Then we have episode 28, and then we have episode 29, and then we're done with season 2. But we have next week, Twin Peaks review. The week after that, the Access Guide. Then we have the last 2 episodes, which, as it were, aired on the same night, which we'll talk about.
Fantastic. Looking forward to
back. But we'll do them as 2 weeks.
Can't wait to go down that path to the Black Lodge, Eric.
Yeah, we're almost there.
All right. Until next time, everybody.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Coop. What happened to Josie? Thank you for listening to the Meanwhile podcast with Dan Johnson and Eric Grissom. If you would like to support the Meanwhile podcast, join our Patreon. It's available right now. You can sign up, and for just a few dollars a month, you can keep this show going, and you can get access to some exclusive podcasts and some secret stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else. So if you'd like to join, go to ericgrissom.com/meanwhile and look for the Patreon link. If you like our show, please consider rating and reviewing the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're hearing this now. Meanwhile is produced by Eric Grissom and Where's My Robots? The Meanwhile theme song is written and performed by Paul Finn and Evening Pines. If you want to let us know what you thought of the show, you can reach Dan at danjnj.com, both on the web and on Blue Sky. Eric can be found on Blue Sky at ericgrissom.com, which is also his website. It's also me, right? That's weird. We'll see you again. And in the meantime, be good.
Listen to the sounds.
Meanwhile.